The U.S. Senate has passed a $1.70 TR £1.40 TR government funding bill, most likely avoiding a partial government shutdown during the holiday season. The House of Representatives now needs to pass it so President Joe Biden can sign it before midnight on Friday. The package will fund the U.S. government all through the next fiscal year, to the 30th of September. The 4,155-page budget contains measures to help Ukraine, bolster U.S. defense, and funds for U.S. domestic priorities. The Senate passed the bill on Thursday afternoon by 68 to 29 in a cross-party vote. The bumper package contains $772 billion for domestic programs and $858 billion for defense. It includes almost $45 billion in emergency aid to Ukraine and about $38 billion for regions recovering from natural disasters. Changes to retirement programs and health care for low-income Americans are also in the legislation. Here are some other ways the government plans to spend tax dollars in the coming year, along with separate provisions added to the omnibus legislation. The $45 billion for Ukraine includes funding for humanitarian and military aid as well as NATO allies. Included in the spending package are changes to the Electoral Count Act in response to the 6th of January Capitol riots. It would clarify the role of the U.S. Vice President in tallying and certifying Electoral College votes. Former President Donald Trump wrongly claimed his vice president had the power to overturn their 2020 election loss. The bill includes a plan to ban downloads of the app, owned by its Chinese-based parent company ByteDance, on government-owned phones and other digital devices amid national security concerns. The bill ditches a COVID-era provision that had relaxed eligibility restrictions for Medicaid, which provides health care for low-income Americans. Millions of people could now face losing health coverage in the spring. A provision in the package delays by 6 years new rules for lobster fisheries aimed at protecting the endangered right whale from becoming entangled in fishing gear. A lengthy battle between the states of Maryland and Virginia over where to relocate the current Federal Bureau of Investigation headquarters, currently in Washington, D.C., is pushed down the road, with text in the bill allowing for further consultation on future sites. A 4.6% wage increase for members of the military. The Congressional Police Service will get a boost of $132 million, bringing its total budget to $734.5 million. U.S. lawmakers have faced growing threats in recent years, and $2.5 million has been approved to improve security at senators' residences. Congress plans to increase the maximum Pell Grant Award, annual funding for low-income undergraduates, by $500 to $7,395. There is a 30% increase of funding, to $8 billion, for the Child Care and Development Block Grant, which helps low-income families pay for childcare. The Environmental Protection Agency gets an increase of $576 million over its budget last year. Several Republican lawmakers have expressed frustration over the size of the package and at being asked to vote on a mammoth bill under a tight deadline, giving them little time to read it through. It is expected to be the last major bill of the current Congress before Republicans take control of the House in January after November's midterm elections. Last week, the Senate passed a stopgap federal spending bill that gave lawmakers additional time to negotiate a broader package, extending the original 17th of December funding deadline to the 23rd of December. On Tuesday morning, House and Republican negotiators unveiled that package, which was months in the making. The omnibus spending bill raises funding from about $1.50 TR in the last fiscal year. A shutdown happens when parts of the government close because politicians fail to agree on a budget. The political game of brinksmanship has become a feature of U.S. politics in recent decades. Under the U.S. system, the different branches of government have to reach an agreement on spending plans before they can become law.